We have sort of something called a protocol Armageddon at the company. So what protocol Armageddon is that's a kill switch. So whenever we feel like we're no longer in a position to be able to best serve the community, we pull the trigger and 24 hours we're gone. We burn all of our assets, we cut all of our ties, and it's nothing.
Things are continuing to spiral for Luna and Do Kwon as new reports and videos have surfaced that show everything that has happened recently may have been premeditated, and to say the least, they make Luna and Do Kwon look really, really bad. So today's video, we're going to talk about everything going on with Luna, but also what's going on in the crypto market, because there is some good news, especially with Facebook, that we need to be aware of. So if you enjoy short form, concise, no BS content, I'd appreciate it if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump right in, starting off with the overall crypto market. So right now, crypto market sitting at a $1.28 trillion market cap, and we're seeing a couple of good signs with the market. Bitcoin currently sitting around $30,000 per coin and has been able to hold this support. When we're looking at the weekly charts, there's also some good news. We can see that Bitcoin is able to hold this key support range right here of $28,500 to $31,000 per coin, and this support, this orange box, has acted as a very strong level for Bitcoin over the last year and a half. And as long as we see Bitcoin's weekly candlestick, its weekly price, close above $28,500, we still have the potential and still have that bullish outlook for the remainder of 2022 that we could see a bounce off of it. That is something to keep in mind. Next thing I want to talk about is going to be with the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Just a couple of housekeeping things, overall market sentiment. What we're seeing with the Crypto Fear and Greed Index currently sitting around 13, which is in the extreme fear territory, indicating that yes, while we aren't as fearful as we were the other day when we saw that major liquidation event, major correction, still now is a great time to be buying, because remember, when people are greedy, you got to be fearful. When others are fearful, you have to be greedy. Like what Warren Buffett says, really it makes the most sense when you're investing, when everyone else is fearful, that is the best time to buy. So just use this as a buying opportunity. Don't invest in high risk, high reward altcoins. Really look at some solid projects that you believe in long term. It's going to leave you worrying a lot less than if you were to try and time the bottom and try to find some very small microcap altcoins, because many of those are going to fail. I'd say just look at some big, solid name projects. Now let's talk about what's been going on with Luna and Do Kwon. So let's start off with a couple of videos first, and I want to see your thoughts on them. So first one is going to be right here.
It's a cycle of life. You begin from nothing and go back to nothing. And that's exactly where I want to be. So I think Terra is going to be the decentralized money standard across the entire blockchain, across all the blockchains. And I'm excited for Terrafrom Labs to contribute a significant portion of that early vision, but eventually to go back to nothing.
Right. So that alone doesn't really make Luna and Do Kwon look too good. He's saying, we're going to go back to nothing. Start from nothing, go back to nothing. What does he really mean by this? Well, it gets a little bit worse as the interview goes on and makes Luna and Do Kwon look really bad after the whole crash that has happened. So let's take a look at this clip.
We have sort of something called a protocol Armageddon at the company. So what protocol Armageddon is that's a kill switch. So whenever we feel like we're no longer in a position to be able to best serve the community, we pull the trigger and 24 hours we're gone. We burn all of our assets, we cut all of our ties, and it's nothing. So that's just in case where things move a little bit faster than we're anticipating.
So again, that makes Luna and Do Kwon look really bad. Like, first of all, why should a cryptocurrency, supposed to be decentralized, have a mechanism in place where they could just shut everything off, disappear, leave, burn all the assets, liquidate everything, leave? Why would a decentralized company like a project have that in place to start with? Second thing, in my opinion, is when he's saying this is basically exactly what they did, because there's documents that came out recently that show they dissolved the company just a couple weeks before the crash happened. So let's take a look at that. What we're seeing is that reports came out from Bellboy and all over social media that say that Do Kwon dissolved Terrafrom Labs on April 30th, just days before Luna and UST crashed. And when we start digging a little bit deeper, These documents look to be 100% valid. Like, yes, I can't confirm that as of right now, but what we can see so far is that the Supreme Court of South Korea has confirmed that documents were filed by Terrafrom Labs Korea on April 30th, 2022 to dissolve its Busan headquarters and Seoul branch at one of their general shareholder meetings. So that looks really bad. And also the report claims that Terrafrom Labs Korea headquarters was liquidated on May 4th and the Seoul branch was liquidated on May 6th. And we can see the official document right here. So all of that does not look too good for Luna. Looks like it could have been premeditated. Do I personally think it was? No, I don't think it was all planned out from the beginning, but I think that they had this plan in place for a reason, to try to make it so maybe they could distance themselves from the company if things went wrong, to prevent lawsuits and things like that from connecting them to it. But I don't think it was premeditated, but I do think they had a plan in place in case something ever did. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think they had this planned out from the beginning? Do you think that they had this premeditated? Now I want to talk a little bit about other legal battles happening with Terrafrom Labs, because that was just the beginning. We're seeing that, first of all, Do Kwon is being sued, and also the South Korean watchdog has reportedly fined Terrafrom Labs $78 million for tax evasion. Right now, this is really the least of their worries, as this has been a problem that they've had over the last year. According to South Korea, they said that they have been following Terrafrom Labs over the last year for tax evasion, so they just slapped this $78 million fine on recently. But I don't think South Korea is going to get their money from this, and I also think that this is the least of Luna and Do Kwon's worries. Now let's talk about some of the good news, because there is good news with the overall market, starting off with Meta. So Meta has officially filed 5 different trademark applications with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and these are for MetaPay, which could be hinting that they're launching a crypto and digital wallet feature. What we're seeing is that MetaPay, which is their newly rebranded product, has filed for a couple different trademarks. What we're seeing is that they are for protecting logos and symbols pertaining to MetaPay to a variety of crypto-related products and services, including a crypto wallet trading service and an online social networking service for investors. In addition to this, the trademark application suggests that MetaPay is looking to make a pivot into crypto lending, card, and investment services. This is a huge deal for crypto investors because Facebook has over 1 billion users. If they roll out MetaPay with, let's say, a crypto exchange, with all these different lending features, with NFT services, that is going to instantly open the door for crypto to over 1 billion people. And that is something that we have not yet seen in the crypto space. And this could be a huge game changer and really be a catalyst to propel us to new record highs in the market, because Facebook is one of the few companies that has the ability to really turn the tide for the crypto market and open the door up to billions of people. Last thing I want to talk about is going to be with Microstrategy, one of the biggest Bitcoin whales out there, biggest corporation in terms of Bitcoin whales. And we're seeing is that Microstrategy's new CFO came out and says that their strategy to buy and hold Bitcoin long term has not changed despite everything that happened in the market. They said that they haven't really gotten too much pushback or pressure from investors and shareholders of the company, despite what has happened with Bitcoin, despite what's happened with MicroStrategy stock, because ultimately all stocks in the market are down, especially tech stocks. Those have taken a big hit. And they said at this point, their strategy has not changed. They're just going to continue to add more long term. And I think this is great for the crypto market because it helps to show that we have a lot of strong support and a lot of buying pressure as we continue to see Bitcoin's price potentially fall. If we see it fall, we're going to continue to see all of these Bitcoin whales come in and scoop up billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. So really that's what's been going on with the overall market. Let me know your thoughts on what's happening with Do Kwon, Terra Luna, what's happening with Meta, because there's a lot of exciting stuff going on in the market. But hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.